So there's something I wanted to talk about because I get a lot of questions via email and just from subscribers in general, which are along the lines of where do you get your hats? Now, as a for instance, this is a toque which was sent to me by a subscriber a couple weeks ago, and that does happen that people send me stuff. Now, what's made this issue more acute is this is a hat I got recently. So it's Vegas. It's kind of fun. You've got the secondary logos in the background, but it's a Fanatics, which means there's something with the Fanatics that they just feel kind of cheap, and a lot of their hats are lazy. A lot of the hats that Fanatics are putting out right now are bland and kind of lazy. So when you look at a hockey player after a hockey game, you look at their hat and you're like, that's ugly. Look for the F on the side. It's a Fanatics. Last year's Stanley Cup winning hats that were available at Lids, they actually recalled them, and I never heard why they recalled them, but they recalled them. So there's definitely something with hats that you got to find the fun ones. Now, I'm going to provide links in the description for this video because I hear a lot of people asking me where I get them. And I did videos 3 years ago about my hat collections, and those videos really just didn't perform. The hat collection is much larger than it was then. The channel is about 10 times bigger than, well, more than that. It's about 20 times bigger than it was then. No, more than that. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Just thinking back, like, I think it got like a couple hundred views at the time. I don't know. So going into some hats I've got recently. Now, the funny thing is, I had basically finished collecting. I'm like, I'm done collecting hats. The seller that I went through on eBay all of a sudden didn't have any listings for sale, and I went, oh, okay, I guess they're off the market. I guess they're done. And I Lids switched ownership over to Fanatics, and all the fun hats on the Lids website disappeared. So I was like, oh, done. And then Yvonne sent me a link to hats that she said these are kind of fun. And so I went out and got some of the kind of fun ones. This is Mitchell and Ness. Mitchell and Ness hats are generally fun. They can be a little bit pricier than what you're going to get with the Fanatics, I'm going to admit. These ones were on sale at Hatland, hatland.com. And that's where I got a few hats out as a test. If you order 3 hats, it's free shipping. No, they're not paying me for any of this. I don't get paid for any of this. So this design is really, I think, kind of fun. And I think I ordered one more in this design for next month. As in, it's at the American Post Office box, and it'll get picked up whenever. And this one I got a couple weeks ago, and I was gonna wear it to the meetup, and I went, and I didn't wear it. I don't think I did. Did I wear this one to the meetup? Or maybe I did. I don't know. I'm getting old, so that kind of thing happens. You just kind of, I don't remember. And when you change jerseys 5 or 6 times a day, and you change your hat that often. Now, this one I like a lot. It's actually from the Vegas store. So this was when we were in Vegas. I got this at the Vegas store. Now, sadly, I had a red and black hat, and it was black here and red around here with that secondary logo on it from Vegas. I lost it. I don't know when I lost it, but it was not in the home that we moved from, meaning it ain't here. I lost it somewhere. I have a bad feeling it ended up staying in a hotel room at the Excalibur, and you're welcome to whoever got it, because I have not been able to find that hat again, which is too bad, because all I have to remember it by is pictures I took for Facebook, and that I did a video on YouTube for you fine people of me wearing it. So this was kind of my replacement for that one, and I like this one a lot. This is a really nice one. Or did I get no, I'm pretty sure I got that one at the store. The other Vegas one I showed, the Fanatics one, I got that one at Lids. This I got through Lids as well. And this is Fanatics. This is the only thing they've done well, is the throwbacks. So a bunch of throwback hats. So when you see me wearing a hat with an old logo on it, it's got just this flat brim, and just it's kind of basic, right? But it's an old-fashioned throwback, and when they're done right, and Lord knows you don't see enough of the Colorado Rockies logo, so when I see that, I'm like, okay, I've got to buy that. And I have a lot of the throwbacks because my collection has a lot of retro jerseys. So when I saw this collection, I basically told Yvonne, I said, so eventually I'll have almost all of these. And she understood. Because, again, I have to make sure I match up the hats with the jerseys. Interesting fact if you look back at old videos and you say, wow, in that video, Shannon's jersey didn't match the hat. What's going on there? It's not even the same team. I used to do that on purpose. Then I met Yvonne, and Yvonne was like, no, stop that. And I stopped it. So there you go. There's the whole story behind that. I actually now, before we go out, I'll put a hat and a jersey on. I go, so does this match? And then she goes, no, the colors are off. Or yeah, that's fine. This one I got through Lids as well. And I'm going to go through just the styles. I'm not going through different hats of the same style. This one is a CCM. One of the concerns that I've had, because Fanatics took over Lids, is that when new hats come in, there may not be some of these fun old-fashioned ones. So if you go into a Lids store and you see something that's kind of old-fashioned and fun, you might want to pick it up. If you're kind of in mind of, well, wait. They don't know what they're doing with their old stock. So it used to be you'd go onto the website and you'd order hats. And the hats, you might actually get shipped to you from one of the other Lids stores. Now they all come from the warehouse. So the ones that are in store, at some point they may have really old stock. And head office might say, all right, we'll ship those back to us, and then we'll ship something else back to you guys, and the old fun hats may just go by the wayside. I don't know what they're doing with the old stock. I don't think Lids 100% does either. I have a ton of hats in this style, where the logo's here and the logo's here. I'm going to be honest with you fine people. I don't know that these are all that available as much as they were. I got these ones through some through Lids, some through the eBay seller that I've been using for ages, because there's some teams you just can't get locally. And I'm talking to you guys who are fans of teams like Arizona, Dallas, Carolina. Sometimes these ones just aren't available. So when I see a hat from a team like that online, I pick it up usually. But this design, I like it a lot. It's simple, and yet it's nice. And again, Reebok. Reebok made some really fun hats. Now, the ugly ones. So this is it's a Zephyr. It's got the Z on the side here. This is one ugly hat. And I had to get an ugly Islander hat, and I have a Bruins and a Canucks in this same design, because they were I think $6. To which, if my wife was home right now, she'd say I overpaid. They're fantastic. I'm not sure what this is supposed to camouflage you with. The sun and the ocean. I don't know. But when you wear this with an an orange Islanders third with the look like daggers on the side, can't lose me in a crowd. I even pointed out yesterday to my wife that I sometimes think I wear the really brightly colored stuff when we're out together, so that she can't lose me in a crowd. You know, you do that with a kid. All right. Next up on the fun. This is one I got from Hatland last week as well. So if you see something in this design where it's one color and then it's got the fun logo sideways down the front, got it from Hatland, and it's a nice ridged design. I like them a lot. So I picked up a few of these. I have the Ducks. Might as well just grab them. So I didn't just get Columbus. I got Philly and the Ducks as well, because there are, as I said, certain teams it's hard to find hats of. It is hard to find a creative hat of the Flyers, is something I've learned over the years. And Columbus, that's only the third Columbus hat I have. I have a lot of hats. That's only 3 for Columbus. It is not easy to find a Columbus hat that isn't just basic. So a lot of Columbus hats I look at and I go, it's just black with the logo on it. A lot of the Fanatics are in there, just black with the logo on it. No thanks. This also through Hatland. So I got this one last week as well. I haven't worn this one in a video yet, so don't tell the subscribers. I absolutely love this. I saw this one online and I was like, okay, so buying that. I just think it's really, really sharp. It's fantastic. It's the same design as the Islanders one I wore for the Brock Nelson video yesterday. It's that same design. Really, really sharp. Again, notice it's a Reebok. Reebok hats, man. Reebok hats. And then Fanatic got all the rights. So the way that it works with the hats is that Fanatics got all the rights. They're not Adidas, none of them. So, also Reebok. These were, of course, draft hats. And I have a ton of these. Um, all kinds of different teams. I just have St. Louis because they seem topical. And they're really, again, I don't mind that they're basic. It's when they're basic and it's a cheap material and they feel kind of plasticky, which a lot of the new Fanatics do. I like that it has the inception date of each team on them. Very, very nice touch. Very nice hats. This also that I got last week. And the reason I'm showing these is because these are the kind that people will email, the hockey guy email about, like, hey, I saw a hat in the video, and this. I've been wearing this one somewhat since I got it. And again, it's a Mitchell and Ness. If it looks really ugly and experimental, it's probably a Mitchell and Ness. Sometimes their experimental hats look horrible, and sometimes they look fantastic. And this one to me looks really nice. And my wife liked this one, which I thought was weird because normally she doesn't like the really garish, loud colors, but here we are. And again, with the skate, can't go wrong with the skate. Now we're into a Fanatics. So this is a current Fanatics. The one thing I've noticed with the brims too, really, really easy to stain the brim, like comparatively speaking with the other hats. And this material on the Fanatics, I have a white hat upstairs. It was actually Jets, which it got stained when I got it home. I can't get it out. So, and it's a Fanatics and it says Authentic Pro on the inside, but they just, I don't know, and the price is the same. You're looking at $30 brand new, and it's the fabric. There's something with these, they don't feel quite right, and the lines don't quite look straight on some of them, and I guess that's by design, but I don't know. Just comparatively speaking with the Adidas, let's get to that Adidas. This was a fun design they had last year. This is an Adidas here, and I have a bunch of hats in this design. This one came through lids, just like that Jets I just showed you guys. I got that one through lids as well. And the Canucks before that was through Hatland. So this one was available at lids. I got a bunch of them because they went on sale for like $10. So I'm like, all right, $10. A lot of the hats you guys see me wear on the channel, I buy for between, I want to say, $8 and $12. So I don't spend a lot on hats. But it does mean that when I have different jerseys I'm going to wear in videos, I can wear different hats as well. These ones I was collecting a few years ago. They've become harder and harder to find, so whatever I've got. I got roughly, I want to say, a third of the league in these hats. So what they did with these was they have the primary, and then if there's a secondary logo for a team, the secondary logo is behind it. For the Canucks one, it's really nice for Nashville. It's just the secondary logos in the background, and they look really, really nice. I like these ones a lot. Again, it's a Reebok. The ones that I've liked over the years have generally been Reeboks. This is a New Era hat. I got this one through lids ages ago, and I got it for $12. So it is the Stanley Cups won by the Boston Bruins. And I like this one a lot, and it was $12. I ordered it online through the Lid site. And again, if you go through the Lid site now, it's Fanatics, basically. And then these ones that I always seem to generate a lot of discussion, which is the small logo here, and then the reflector right here. And the reflector is really, really nice. They're really nice in low lighting. Really, really fun. And then when we go to Castle Fun Park and we're in black light area, that sucker lights up. And I've got a bunch of teams in these. I've got a whole drawer over here full of just this design. These, of course, are Adidas. Most of them I got through lids, but when they were recently released, I got as many of them as I could. I got them through the American Lid site and the Canadian Lid site. I was finding them online, trying to find ways to order them through NHL.com, again, while trying to get deals and whatnot. I didn't end up getting all 31. I've never been able to get all 31 teams in a design. This one's really, really nice. And this design was one of my favorites. Because again, you've got the team name here, the reflector, the small logo here, and just the small Adidas logo on the side. And again, you've got the shiny NHL in the back, and the brim is the color of the team's secondary color. I really I try to go with something that's different, and I try to make sure that my hats look different, and that's part of the reason why I look in as many places as I do. As I said, I will post a link in the description for this video to various websites where I still get them. The best advice I can give, though, is the same thing I tell people with jerseys. I generally don't buy anything at full price. That's a basic rule. I try to make sure I'm not paying full price for things. And I check the same websites every single day. Anytime anybody says, hey, did you see that sale on ice jerseys? Yes. Yeah. Did you see that sale on cool hockey? Yeah. Because I even keep track of when the sales are ending, which means there's a new one coming. And I make sure within a couple hours of the new one going up that I've checked. And so I'm always on those sites every single day checking, because eventually there's a sale, which I go, I am going to get that because that is a good cheap price. So always look for deals. And what I've learned as well with eBay, if it says this price or best offer, you never know what you might get something for. I've got jerseys for price that I send an offer, and I'm like, this is insultingly low. And then I get back a message of they've accepted, and I'm like, okay, all right. I got that for $50, and I was totally willing to pay $75. Cool. So, it's fun having a collection that I do, and it's fun letting you guys know how you can have it too. It's not something that breaks the bank, not nearly as much as people think it does. But there you go. So, hat collection. I've had people wanting me to do a countdown. The trick with a countdown is, like, for instance, I've got all the ones that have this design on them. So then I'd just be like showing up, and there's this one in this design, and this team, and they'd all be the same design, so it turns out kind of boring. So I haven't figured out a way to do it that won't be boring, but eventually at some point, yeah, I'll figure it out. So there you go. And like I said, check the description. There'll be links to where I get hats from. And thank you guys so much for all your support. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching. It means a ton. I'll talk to you again soon.